Welcome to our first practice episode of Richmond Real Talk, where you can find real teens have real talk about real stuff. This is your host, DJ Silver, currently recording here at the Shoreline Teen Center. I almost said Richmond Highlands Teen Center. And today I'm joined with our very own Salakman. Salakman.
My name's pronounced Solomon.
And Anthony.
It's actually 1, 2, 3, Anthony Cool.
No.
Anthony Cool?
No.
1, 2, 3, Anthony Cool.
No, you.
And then we got young Ishmael, aka the albino rhino, aka the vanilla gorilla, aka Power Pony.
Oh, I forgot you brought the Power Pony.
And we got DJ.
This is the practice. The very first one, you have to call him Power Pony now?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
If that spreads, Ishmael, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, Ishmael. I'm really, really sorry. You know what I just realized? I have my headphones plugged into the wrong one.
Oh, there's about to be some nice noises.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. All right, but it's okay. It's going to get edited out anyway.
Thank God for a practice run. Thank God.
Okay, that's a little bit better.
Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Solomon is sexy. I repeat, Solomon is sexy.
And I plugged into the wrong one as well.
Okay, DJ. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Ishmael's ugly. Repeat, Ishmael's Power Pony.
Unfortunately, I had to hear that.
Ishmael, sorry, you're beautiful.
All right, well, with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into our first segment of our talk today. And our first segment, or our first part, is called the quote of the day. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce a quote, and I want to hear your quick opinions on the quote. So it's going to set us up for the second part, which is going to be the topic of the day. So the quote of the day is quoted by Bob Marley, and it's, "I'm the one that's got to die when it's my time to die. So let me live my life the way I want to." The reason why I go ahead and I bring up this quote is because I feel like this mindset is really, really prevalent amongst a lot of teens. I know it's prevalent amongst you too. I know you might live this motto, but I feel like this is underneath it all really, really subconscious mentality that a lot of teens have, which is, you know, the fact that you have this impulsive need or this nature to do things because you're first experiencing life, and because it's your very own life, you feel like there's no restraints on it. So therefore, why not live the life or do the things that you're trying to do as fast as you can growing into adulthood? Is there anything that you want to say about it or shed light on the matter about it?
I mean, this is the last time I'm not going to be an adult in my life, so it's like I can at least screw around to the point where it's like there's not that much repercussions because I'm still technically a kid, but like this is the last time I'm ever going to be able to do this, so it's like I might as well do it.
Yeah, like if you do like a bunch of reckless things when you're like an adult, you either could get fired or like put in jail. Like,
catch a case.
Exactly. Like, I don't want to go through that. I'd rather go through like don't do that. Like,
don't do that again, Solomon. I'm
exactly.
very disappointed in you.
So you're very conscientious that part of your life is coming to a close, really.
Yeah. What about you, young Ishmael?
Well, he doesn't have a microphone, so he really can't.
Oh, word? Yeah,
he's going to have to yell from a distance to be able to get into it.
Well,
I mean, you can do that if you want. We're not going to stop you.
We'll let him as Power Pony for right now. Good Lord. Well, the only reason why I bring that up is because, how old are you, Anthony?
16, almost 17.
I thought you were 17, turned 18 this whole time.
Nah.
When's your birthday?
July 25th.
God damn.
Okay, so you're 16 then. Oh, so you still have a solid 4 years, 4 years before you have to worry about something like this, whereas Salakman over here only has about 2.
Yep.
It's Solomon.
So you only have 2 years because you're
Baby
18, right?
thickums.
Stop it. We're not bringing that back.
Daddy long legs. I didn't forget about that one.
Yeah, this podcast supposed to be about anime. We're talking about Baby Thickums, Daddy Long Legs, Power Ponies, and quotes from Bob Marley.
Y'all didn't even talk about the quote. You talked about everything else but
right.
All right. I think this quote was a little bit too deep for the both of you. But just for my sake, I definitely lived my life when I was definitely your age, which wasn't that long ago. Once upon a time, And I definitely had this mentality: you are not gonna eat that thing with the wrapper still on it, and I could hear it through the voice recording. So this man tried to eat a McChicken with the wrapper still on it. Ladies and gentlemen, this man brought a bag of McDonald's into here to eat some McChickens. Dry.
DJ, do you not think I won't eat this straight to the mic?
You know,
really think I'm not?
I gotta keep him talking before he gets bored and eats that thing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and launch into our second part, which is going to be the topic of the day. Now, the topic of the day consists of something that me and Salakman actually talked about a little bit earlier.
I'm gonna keep saying it's Solomon every single time you say my name wrong.
So we talked about this a little bit earlier, and amongst other things, I was trying to discuss with him what he would like to talk about. We presented ghosts as a topic. He said he didn't want to talk about ghosts.
I ain't scared of no ghosts.
He suggested we talk about light skins for the topic.
What? Hey, I'm gonna call.
I decided I kind of wanted to save that for a different day.
It's my brother.
And now this man just walked off the set to answer a phone during the middle of a podcast.
I didn't even answer. I just turned it to silent.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Anyway, so after we went through the ghosts, which he didn't care about, and then we went through the light skins, which I actually want to save for a different day.
All right, because that's actually an interesting discussion.
That is an interesting discussion. That is, but not for the practice one.
Yeah,
We're gonna go ahead and go into the main topic today, which we all came to a consensus on, which is the best anime. Now this topic,
this boy rolled his head.
Now it's gonna be broken down to two segments. We're first gonna discuss the best anime show between the 3 or 4 of us possibly, and then we're going to discuss the best anime movie between the 3 or 4 of us. So let's go ahead and first start off with the show.
Alright, see. Now, first of all, it depends on what genre we're talking about.
But anime is really a genre altogether.
I'm talking. Well, I mean, let's check it out. But Death Note's some drama stuff. Dragon Ball Z, that's just fighting.
Yeah.
That's true, but that's what makes it even harder because you're talking about the best television anime show of all time, or the best anime show. I would
still go with the Dragon Ball franchise, just considering that transcended more than just one generation. I don't even think any of us were alive when the original Dragon Ball released, or even Z for that matter, because I released, I think, in '89. I don't think you were born in '89.
I think it was in the mid '90s when it.
Yeah, that was
early. It was right when I was born.
That's when it started popping off, though. That was the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the first manga was made in '82, something like that.
Yeah.
Right. It's 2018. People still love Dragon Ball Z.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that one.
But just because something's mainstream, does that necessarily mean that it's the best of all time? If it's popular,
if you ask
mainstream?
a lot of people who've created anime and what shows, what got them into it, I bet you they'll say Dragon Ball Z.
I definitely can't disagree that how important and influential Dragon Ball Z was, because when you say anime, to anybody that isn't well versed in the anime world, Dragon Ball Z is the first thing that pops into their head.
That or Pokemon.
Before anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Naruto doesn't hit as hard as... Oh yeah, Naruto. Even Naruto doesn't hit as hard as Dragon Ball Z, in my opinion. How about you, Anthony? What?
Well, that's kind of hard because I like a lot of animes, but Solomon's right with the culture, because Dragon Ball Z made it huge, but if you look at the story and how it is, it's not that good.
Well, I mean, it's not meant to be about the story. It's meant to be about some dudes just fighting.
Yeah. But
Wait, are you saying if you look at the story of Dragon Ball Z,
yeah,
those story
arcs? If
arcs?
you're watching the Dragon Ball Z for story, I have a lot of questions for you.
Yeah.
That's on some you're watching Death Note for the action. What?
Yeah, you're right.
It's about a notebook that kills people. We're talking about the fighting.
Yeah, but there's other animes that did fighting way better. Look at One Punch Man. That's some of the best and most beautiful fighting you'll see in an anime.
That is true. Actually, I'll go ahead and say that One Punch Man is actually that is probably some of the top best action. And I grew up with Dragon Ball Z and I love Dragon Ball Z, but One Punch Man, the action in that is insane.
It is.
It is absolutely insane. It's it literally is a masterpiece. But I think with me, I'll argue that like Dragon Ball Z, the stories in Dragon Ball Z actually is pretty phenomenal. I mean, you're dealing with a lot of things. People try to make similarities that it kind of bites off Superman, this and that. I won't go that far. I will say that Dragon Ball Z definitely has a lot of really crazy, insane, influential, and authentic type of storytelling when it comes to the powers, the story arcs between villains and characters and stuff like that. I can't say the same for Dragon Ball or after that. What's Dragon Ball Super, right?
Yeah,
right now.
Super, yeah.
I've been watching Dragon Ball Super, and it's I'm not gonna lie, I dig it. It's cool, but it's nowhere near Dragon Ball Z for me. And even the story's kind of like,
I think the Goku Black arc is actually really interesting, but
yeah.
like, because like I don't think Dragon Ball Z's gotten that and like not intense with the story, but like that into detail with it since like maybe like Trunks with the androids.
That's true. So Anthony, would you say, do you think is the best anime show of all time? I can't remember if you said it before or not.
I really can't decide. There's like, because like a lot of animes are different, and like I would say best like action. No, best action anime that has a story. I would say Naruto, because like that has so many like loops and like mind tricks to it.
The filler episodes are
the filler's bad, but you could easily skip that.
True, but it's like if it's your first time watching, you don't like.
Yeah, that's
your
true.
first time watching anime. You don't know nothing about no filler episodes. You just thinking it's
that's kind of what had me.
It's some blonde-haired little boy with a 9-tailed fox inside him. Like that's all you know.
Yeah, but like you can't lie. Like the like lore on it is like really nice.
It's more in like. It goes more into detail about it than Dragon Ball Z. I'll give it that. I think Naruto definitely has a better story. But like even the action's dope, but it's like nobody gets down like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, but
no, like
what the thing with Dragon Ball though, it's just like pure strength. Naruto has strategy to it. That's what I like. Also.
I mean,
like
I guess.
What you mean? I guess.
I mean, strategy's cool and all that, but like I'm trying to see some black-haired dude go blonde, gain 500 pounds of pure muscle, and start punching people for 5 episodes. Like
Turns blonde quick.
Right, like
with blue eyes.
That's what
he turns Japanese to white dude instantaneously. And is more powered up. What's interesting about the Naruto thing is, okay, so Naruto, well, obviously the mangas and everything came out before it hit America, but when Naruto hit America and started coming out on Cartoon Network, I think I was about, I want to say like 10 or 11, and around that same time Full Metal Alchemist hit.
Oh yeah.
Right,
so
nice.
In me, I liked the anime that was on Toonami, but I stayed up late as a kid, and this came out during the same time. As a kid, I stayed up late to see the Adult Swim anime because that's where I love like Cowboy Bebop.
Okay,
Bebop's filthy.
Too.
Cowboy Bebop's filthy. Yeah. So there's
that might have to be up
even Rurouni Kenshin, the real stuff was on there for a little bit.
I completely forgot.
Yeah, Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah. Okay, that's an old.
I stayed up late to watch Adult Swim, and at the same time, Naruto and Fullmetal Alchemist roughly came out around the same time. I mean, Fullmetal Alchemist may have hit America maybe about a year later, if that. It wasn't that much longer.
Yeah.
And for me, it was hard for me to get into Naruto for whatever reason. I think it's because I didn't like the character Naruto. I couldn't get into his character. But Fullmetal Alchemist, like right off the gate, had me sucked in at that age. And Fullmetal Alchemist from then on had me sucked in, both with the action, because it does have great action, great story, the characters, everything about it. I fell in love with that and how dark and gritty it gets and how violent it could get.
Because like I remember my sister first told me about that series, and she was like the first few episodes are kind of depressing because like you just saw 2 boys get, I don't know, this is the first episode, so I don't think anybody cares if I spoil it, but like
it's been out for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like 2 boys get basically punished by God because they try to bring their dead mother back. It's like,
they get to the gate and it just completely obliterates them. But see, I was as sadistic as I was as a child. That's what I was into. So like I remember watching that. I got to a point where I was able to get all the episodes, not Brotherhood, which came out a little later, but the original American aired one, and I finished it from the first episode all the way to the last episode. When I won't give the spoiler away, but when what happens. Yeah. And I remember by the end of it, I was straight just
I'm so sorry.
Good. It's a good thing that this is a practice run.
Hey, can I answer real quick? Like, hey, shut up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Jacob, I need you
We'll
to
just
shut
cut
up for a
this one
second.
out.
I'll call you back. I promise. This is.
It's a good thing we can edit this and this isn't live.
No, this should be live. If this is live, it should be better.
This would be terrible. Well, anyway, so for me, I won't say that it's my top favorite of all time, but it's definitely one of my arguments to where I'd say that might arguably be the best show, anime show of all time. But now we have to get into the best anime movie of all time.
I think this should be the easiest one. You're wearing the T-shirt.
Yep.
You have to put Akira. Yeah.
You gotta go Akira.
That's like.
But they skipped a lot of things that was in the manga that was like really important.
But I mean, it's like.
Yeah.
I think the only thing they really skipped was like his like not Kaneda, Tetsuo, his like just descent into insanity.
But that was really big.
That was important because it was like it started to show him getting really addicted. But it's like
they also went into depth about what was this, the psychic kids that were able to give him his ability.
Yeah.
In the manga, they went even more into depth about that.
Well, I
and
mean,
what
that
happened.
also comes down to the
Because
limitations
that was
like a 2-hour movie
that's
versus
true.
an entire series.
Because I remember I saw it, and that was the only thing that confused me was like, well, how did these abilities even how they even find these kids? You know, and it was very influential with a lot of movies. If you look at the story, I don't know if you know, but Minority Report, that movie that came out. The Matrix, like Akira was really influential with a lot of things. But really, out of all the movies, you think that one's the most influential one?
I think that one.
You think that's the one's the best
That
anime movie
and
of
like
all
a
time?
slight tier below has to be anything for Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
Because like, even though they're owned by Disney, they are actually the Disney of anime movies. Like they got Spirited Away, Castle in the Sky, My Neighbor Totoro.
I forgot the director's
Ponyo.
name who made a lot of those.
It's something Ghibli.
Was that the production or was that the director's name?
I think that was the name of the guy who started like the production.
Yeah,
Okay. There was the name of the director who made like Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke,
I was except for
Grave of the Fireflies, which is pretty good.
Head up on Google right quick.
Yeah, go ahead, look up the director for Princess Mononoke. Or maybe Spirited Away, that might be easier to go. But yeah, I think it's... See, this is where it's more tough for me because I love Akira, but there are so many other like anime movies to me that kind of hit a little bit harder. Even though Akira is pretty fantastic.
I think even at that, it's kind of hard to introduce somebody to like anime with Akira because it's like very rarely are any anime like that because it's like.
Oh yeah, Miyazaki.
Miyazaki. Yeah.
Miyazaki. I'm terrible with Japanese name.
I got you.
Miyazaki. Yeah, Miyazaki. He's definitely.
He's the Walt Disney of anime.
He's the godfather of these animes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. He's the one that's been able to make that medium kind of transcend over. But see, for me, it's like there's some more obscure ones that people don't know about. Like, no one in this room knows Vampire D.
Okay, I've heard of it and never watched it.
Exactly, Vampire D, and even if we talk about the anime shows like Hellsing, right? Like Hellsing's pretty vicious. And I liked it a lot. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's pretty vicious. Now I'm not gonna say it's better than Full Metal Alchemist or
Let's not speak recklessly.
Yeah, that's a little too that's too hard to say. But even that is pretty on point. And then you got to look at like, you know, and then in terms of like shows to Afro Samurai. I mean, that's pretty. Afro Samurai is pretty on point. Even though it's how many episodes is it? Like 6 episodes?
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
Because it's just the episode. Like they're broken up from the movie itself.
Yeah, but even that 6 episode first season itself is literally some of the best anime I've ever watched in my life. So it's really tough. Anyway, with that all being said, we're going to go ahead and break off into our third part, which is the teen's choice. As a matter of fact, scratch that. We're not going to break off to the third part of the teen's choice because we actually have just ran all out of time. So we are going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode of Richmond Real Talk. I would like to conclude today's episode
with some McChicken being eaten.
He's going to start eating the McChicken now. Thank you so much to Anthony and Solomon for joining me today on this episode.
That's the fourth.
And Ishmael, my tech guy. Hashtag.
No, don't even disrespect him. That's his Ishmael now. He came in clutch.
Hashtag Power Pony.
Hey, make that a trend on Twitter.
Look, listen.
I need you guys to go on Instagram and post on your story #PowerPony. We need to give this man Ishmael some clout. Ishmael, what's your Instagram?
He's not gonna get it.
Ishmael, hey, I got my phone right now. Ishmael, look it up.
Listen, he doesn't.
Hey.
Ishmael, but instead of an A, it's a.
There you go. You heard the man. Follow him and just spam him at PowerPony.com. It's not even a website, but there you go.
Better edit this part out.
Do not edit this part
Edit
out.
this part out.
He's gonna fight y'all at the end. He's gonna fight y'all.
You guys
as soon as
can't
we
see
get up out of
Clout
here.
tokens.
We're giving you that clout.
All right. Well, any final thoughts that you two would like to go ahead and say? Any final thoughts? Any words?
I need some barbecue sauce on this McChicken, bro.
And Netflix,
Sweet
that's
baby
what we
rays.
do is
Don't worry. We got some sweet baby.
Hell yeah.
We got it. My ears are bleeding right now because we made it. Yeah. All right.
Just know your ears are never safe, DJ, as long as I'm here.
Yeah. As long as I got them in this podcast, my ears are gonna be bleeding.
Yeah.
Hey, that's okay, because if I go to the doctor and says you have auditory hearing loss, I'm going to go ahead and hit you with the bill, the medical bill. I'm going to hit your mom with the medical bill, too.
All right, leave my mother alone. Speaking of my mother, actually, she
Yeah.
said during, you probably got to edit this out, but she said that I can invite basically anybody at the graduation party. So,
So the sheep, then. The sheep is a go.
guess who's getting some sheep now?
Woo! The sheep is a go. All right, with that, ladies and gentlemen,
We're gonna
that wraps
end it
up
off the
today's
sheep.
Richmond Real Talk. I got to go ahead and
Edit
try to
like
harass this man for
four-
his sheep,
Edit
for his
like
mom making
40% of this podcast because I was yelling.
and eating McChicken into the microphone.
Yup. Hey, say I won't do it right now. I gotta be quick.
That's so disgusting. That's so he's eating it dry, ladies and gentlemen. There's not even any sweet baby rays on it. He look like he about to choke right now. His face is satisfaction right
James.
now. All right, I gotta go ahead and cut it off before they go ahead and get into it. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen. That wraps up today's episode of Richmond Real Talk.